Oh, look at that. It's Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy. It's been another week and we have all survived. And I'm hearing something interesting. Chill here for a moment.
No,
The dog. If it weren't live, it wouldn't be live, right? Right? The puppers wanted the attention. They were hearing my voice coming from the other room because some reason I had this stream on another device and volume was turned up and it was coming from the other room, and I didn't even know it had happened. I guess I was watching a video in the other room and it automatically defaulted over into this stream address. I don't know. Who knows how these things work. Anyway, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, good lunchtime, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. May the 4th be with you. We are here at the Lone Wolf Weekend Hangout, Court Time, live from the gallery. I have a couple of really good docket calls put together for you today. We have Judge Fleischer starting us off and Judge Simpson finishing everything off. It's going to be a really good show. I'm excited. I've seen parts of these. The first Fleischer case you'll see, you've probably seen other places. I've taken the cases from the Fleischer docket, put them all together because he spreads them out a lot of the time. But there's 3 real interesting cases. The very last case in the Fleischer docket call, a lot of people might have missed part of because it actually didn't happen until actually Fleischer had shut the stream off for a period of time and then turned the stream back on. So a good likelihood that people missed that little nugget, and it was a good little nugget. The second series of cases that we're going to look at is from Simpson, and those are going to be from the Landlord Tenant docket yesterday. That would be Friday the 3rd, May the 3rd. It was a pretty interesting docket call, but I cherry picked some of what I thought were what I found to be some more interesting cases. We got about 40 minutes on the Fleischer side of things. We got a little over 30 minutes on the Simpson side of things. The reason I have brought these two together in today's weekend stream, a lot of us may have seen earlier in the week the Colin video and the interview with Judge Fleischer, where he actually brought up Judge Simpson without any prompting at all. So we know Judge Fleischer at least knows of Judge Simpson. And from the way he reacted when Colin was talking about visiting with Judge Simpson, seems to be quite at least as much of a fan as I am. I mean, have a little bit of reverence for the man and his work. I mean, he is a judicial giant, Judge Simpson. And Judge Fleischer, I'm getting to the point right now where I have to call him kind of a judicial giant too. They handle very different caseloads, but they're both legends in their own respective fields here. So let's not dairy about. Let's go ahead and get some of these dockets. Let's go ahead and get the Fleischer docket started because it is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you from the gallery, Judge Fleischer, from his Wednesday docket before he went on vacation.
Judge, we have an arraignment whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Come on.
Page 22, Wheeler, come on up.
Give me 1 second. Let me just get me this arraignment done real quick, and then we can get it done. Davion Wheeler. Mr. Wheeler, you're charged with possession of marijuana. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because It's in a drug-free zone. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews in the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer, lawyer will be appointed to represent you. Does he reek of weed right now?
Yes, he does.
You reek so bad, I think I'm gonna get high just from you standing in front of me. Okay, please.
Yes, Your Honor, on
My
4/24 officer at Teeny's Food Mart in Harris County, Texas, saw a defendant making hand-to-hand transactions with an unidentified male. Officer believed the hand-to-hand transaction to coincide with the possession and distribution of narcotics and or marijuana. The defendant observed officer and placed a clear plastic bag that contained a green leafy substance inside the front of his boxers. Wheeler turned around and attempted to flee the scene. Wheeler was advised a dog would be deployed and stopped when he heard the dog barking. Wheeler was detained without incident. The green leafy substance was retrieved from Wheeler's person. The green leafy substance weighed at 0.5 ounces. Teeny's Food Mart is in a drug-free zone.
So this gentleman here was on bond for a case and he not picked up a new case. Did he have the bond conditions to not pick up any new cases? Wheeler. We tell you not to pick up any new cases while you're on bond. Otherwise, the PR bond that you get is revoked and you get put into jail. You are on bond for criminal trespass. You've now picked up another case, and also you're here and you reek of weed so bad, you must have just stopped smoking right now.
Judge, actually, it's the other way around. He was on bond for the PON. That arrest was out of April 24th, 2024. And
Oh, I see.
He picked up trespass April 20th.
Okay, so we're here on, I thought we were here on the weed case. So we're here on the trespass then.
Judge, because he never, so before he approached this court on the marijuana case, he has since picked up the trespass case. But he was on bond for the marijuana case before he approached here and picked up the trespass.
So I'm sorry, so he's charged with the criminal trespass here, not the weed.
Both.
Both, right, but what, the reason he's in front of me now is for a criminal trespass because that's the new case though.
It's on both. He's never approached, he's never been here on the possession of marijuana case. That happened April 24th. And on April 29th, he picked up the criminal trespass. He never approached this court on either case.
I have here that he signed conditions of bond on 4/24 not to pick up any new cases. And now 5 days later, he's picked up a criminal trespass. I mean, am I wrong?
Oh, you're right. Yes, April 20th.
No.
April 25th, it has judge's signature. Yeah. It says, the defendant shall commit no crime and shall not engage in conduct that could result in his or her arrest.
It's not looking good for you, Mr. Wheeler. It's Altamirano, right?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. Mr. Wheeler, I'm revoking your bond and I'm keeping you with me. He goes with you. Can you please appoint Mr. Wheeler a lawyer and then we will talk about what's going to happen, please? So What is it? Okay. Do you mind reading what happened on the trespass, Val?
What was that?
What happened on the trespass?
So on the trespass, that was 5 days after the possession of marijuana.
Correct.
In that case, he was trespassing the same food mart as the possession of marijuana. So.
So he had notice prior to.
Yeah. And then April 29th, it's Chinese food mart, same food mart as the possession of marijuana. Also noticed from the mail's littering, approximately an hour later, they came back. They were still there, without any attempts to purchase anything. As deputies were approaching the food mart, the mails walked off. This mail was detained. Officer identified him. Deputy Riley, which was the arresting officer in the special marijuana case, 5 days prior, advised that he had arrested this defendant on 424 for possession of marijuana, and advised David not to return to the location and gave him a verbal trespass warning. They also spoke to an employee of the Tiny Food Mart. His name is Jasper Guerrero, who also advised that he told both males to leave the location if they didn't leave, and he wanted to be charged with trespassing.
Okay. Was he here with family earlier? Do you know?
No.
He may have been here with family. The one that we took him back earlier? So I don't know if you want to talk to mom and stepdad there and back, or outside perhaps, if you want to talk to them and then come back and we can try to figure something out. Okay, tell me. On who? Okay. So what I did was I revoked his bond and I set it at 2501 on each of his cases.
2501.
Correct.
This case.
I suspect that I speak,
Considering stating his wrong.
he came here high. I mean, he smelled so strong of weed, I almost got high. Not only that, he picked up another case while on bond. But I'll do this though. If he's not able to bond now, after a couple days, we'll talk in a little, okay?
And I was spoken with her.
Tell me. Is that mom right there? Mom, you mom? Come on up. Hi, thank you so much for coming. The problem is that, so he picks up first a possession of marijuana. We tell him as a court, don't get into trouble. Don't pick up any new cases. If you do, we're gonna yank your PR bond and we'll put you in jail. So not only did he come here and pick up a new criminal trespass, the problem is he's going to these, allegedly going to these store marts and hanging out with other people. And I don't know if they're selling weed or whatnot, but is that what they're saying here? That he's selling weed? And then he comes here reeking of weed too. So if I don't do something, it's going to continue to happen. It's like my child. If I say, hey, you know, if you know what I mean?
I woke my son up. My son was not smoking weed and not smelling weed. I woke him up and got the Uber myself. What you smell, I don't know. I washed his clothes. He did not smell weed. He was home last night. He didn't come here high. I can vouch for that strongly myself. I can also tell you when that camera footage comes, they got my son from across the street, up the street on his way and took him back to the store and set him there. I walked to the store and watched them 30 minutes while my son sat in that car. My son was not on the premises when they got him. I'm not making excuses. He has to learn. He will learn because I won't let up on him. I won't. But the truth.
So how do we curb this behavior then? How do we make it stop?
She's on himself right now.
Say it again.
Battling on himself right now. He's scared. It's not his life. He's not made of this. I didn't raise him this way. I think, honestly, this is enough. Because I told you, I tell him, When they get you, there's nothing mama
I
can
want,
do.
I want to punish him. I don't want to punish you. And the problem is that if I put him in there, you're going to pay to get it out. And it's really not punishing him. It punishes you for having to spend the money to get him out. And I don't want to punish you. So
Your Honor, and
what do we do to get through to him? You tell me, because you know him best. What can I do?
give him a chance, send him.
We did though.
He has to be in school. He's been slacking on his school, reinforce his school. I want my son to educate. This is last year. Like, excuse me, I'm sorry, my
Okay.
emotions. This is last year. And like I said, this right here is a wake up for him. He needed this. If he doesn't get anything, he needed this. It's a wake up call, I tell him.
Where's he going to school?
Not Decaney, Momentum High off of TC Chester, not too far from our home. Yeah.
So he's been slacking on.
He's been slacking, yes, he has. I will admit to that. He's been slacking, but I haven't been letting up. He's been slacking though, and it's to a point where I don't want to be those, but I just don't get headaches, you know.
So let me ask you this, because what I'd like to do is, no drugs, no alcohol. He must attend school full time. And what I want is proof that he's been in actual attendance 2 weeks full time in school. And if he don't, then I'm gonna put him in jail and I'm gonna make his bond extremely high. And we'll use that as bait to get him on the up and up. And I'm gonna tell him now that I'm gonna test him in 30 days from today. And if he tests positive 30 days from today for marijuana, likewise, he'll go to jail. But you gotta be with me on this.
I'm with you, because everything you're aiming at and trying to get him to do is what I've been.
So, but if you tell him, if he knows that you're just gonna bond him out, he's not gonna do anything. So we have to be on the same page that if I threaten this, you have to be with me, because if he knows that he messes up and he gets out and I put him in and you're gonna bond him out, there's no teeth in the threats.
Husband, I need your help on this. I want my son to graduate. I really do.
So if I bring him out, I let him out today, you and I are on the same page. That no dope, school full-time, he cannot hang out with the same people.
30 days. Yes.
You want a curfew? Okay, I can put a monitor on him so I know, do you work? But do you work?
I work.
Okay, good. That way, because when the cat's away, the mice will play. So, okay,
And
all right.
he's my oldest, so it's a lot of, I have him young, you know, it's a lot of.
As long as you are on,
I'm telling you, once they can hold it, there's nothing I can do. It's nothing I can do. And today it showed it. So he's experiencing it right now back there. It's nothing I can do.
all right, we're on the same page. Do you mind bringing him out? So I'm gonna test him 30 days from today. So June 1st, he gets tested. And then in 2 weeks, I need him back here with proof that he's gone to school every day, full time. And if he doesn't, I will put him in jail and I'm gonna make his bond really, really high. But, and then if that's the case, I'm not gonna leave him in there to rot. What we'll do is just a little bit of jail therapy, 2 days in there, so he gets the message. And then if he messes up, which hopefully he doesn't,
It's enough.
okay?
I'm a bad kid. I honestly feel like he'll get it.
I will give you my card. If you have any issues, you can get a hold of me, or Sonia knows how to, and then I'll put the fear into him. And hopefully we can get him to graduate. For sure. You tell me, do you want 9 p.m.? 9 p.m. curfew? Yeah.
Dark. I don't eat after 8, so I'll be sleeping.
Do you want me to keep you? You need to make a deal with me right now, because you've been failing me over and over, and I'm not going to do it again. I am putting you on severe conditions now. The only reason that you're not going in right now is because of your mom. But I'm gonna tell you now, Mr. Wheeler, you muck with me one iota, I'm gonna make your bond so high, you're gonna flip and she's not gonna get you out. You will be stuck like Chuck. Do you understand? You are going to go to school full time. And I want proof in 2 weeks that you've gone to school every day from 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning until 3 when it lets out. And if you don't go to school one day, I'm gonna homeschool you myself in the jail. Do you understand? No more smoking weed. I'm gonna test you 30 days from today because weed stays in your body for 30 days. I will test you on June 1st, where it should be out of your system if you don't smoke from today on. If you smoke after today, you are guaranteeing yourself a jail stay. Do you understand? You are not to have any communication with any of the people that you hang out with at the store, and you're not allowed to go back there. And I'm putting a monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. So I will know if you're at school or if you're toying with me. Do you understand? And I'm giving you a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. You can either have it this way or you can go to jail. What do you want to do? If your mom tells you to jump, you better ask how high, because you give her one problem, I will put you over my knee and I'm going to spank you like a little child, but I will do it with a ton of jail time. Do you understand? I'm not playing games, and I'm tired of your behavior. And I'm going to give your mom my card so she can call me directly if she ever has any problems with you. Do you think she wants to be here? Do you think she wants to be in court? She could be at home making money, but now she's got to spend the next 5 hours spending money coming downtown on multiple occasions, pay for parking, because you act like a knucklehead. Not only that, if you don't graduate from high school, have you seen all the people back there? You know what they are? Children that never grew up. People that have no self-control. That's what we have back there. They will amount to nothing for the rest of their life. They will never have a pot to piss in. They will never have money. They'll never go on vacations. They'll never buy a Lexus, a Mercedes-Benz. They'll never go to Fiji. That's what life is about. Life is about buying nice things, going on expensive, lavish vacations, not going to court over and over. You understand, Mr. Wheeler? This is the only chance that you have with me. You can either make it and do with it well, or I guess I'll just play with you over and over. The choice is yours, but you only get one choice. You'll never get another shot with me. Do you understand, sir? All right. Mom, here's my card. If you ever need anything, you get in contact with me and let me know how he's doing. And I want you here in 2 weeks to show me where you are in life. And I promise you, in 30 days, you'll get a drug test. All right. Thanks, Mom. Thank you, son. I'm going to say something else. Okay. Hi, Lori.
Good morning, Mr. Dane Morales.
What are we doing with Mr. Mireles?
A 2-year, I think, deferred with T-RAS, with the conditions on T-RAS.
Okay, he's not done, he's already done the TRAS,
Yes,
right?
it's right here.
So we have, and what are the conditions?
The conditions are, mental health, caseload. Huh?
This on the theft and criminal trespass?
Yeah, on the theft, the criminal trespass, y'all are dismissing.
Just want to make sure. I
So
got
does
you.
this mean he's just gonna get out today? Is that what it means? He's not gonna do anything.
Yes, I will.
I don't believe you, Mr. Mireles.
I promise. I mean, if I revoke, then I mean, I have to be back. I have no choice. This is, might get it together or not, and I'm going to get it together, I promise. I promise. Because I can't come back here and I can't keep doing this anymore.
How many times have you told this to me, Mr. Mireles?
I'm not sure, but I can't do this. I can't be homeless anymore either. I have one goal in mind, and that's to complete this. Because if I don't, then I'm in here. I have no choice with this. This makes me pretty much have to get everything together. With that,
Mireles,
I prefer that way. I can
how
go to
many
class.
times have you told this to me?
To be honest with you, a couple of times. I'm not sure, but this will help me get housing. Plus, I've already spoken to Miss Carolina. She works here at the medical, and she told me to come to the Montrose Center, and she will get me help with the housing and the job. That way, I can get off the streets. I don't have to steal to get by. I don't live like this anymore.
And you know, I would, under normal circumstances, believe you. But because you've picked up 30 cases within the last 2 years, and you've told me.
Cases. I don't have to.
Okay, let's go through it. Assault, possession of a controlled substance, burglary of a motor vehicle, resisting arrest, theft of service, criminal trespass, interference with the duties of a public servant, criminal trespass. In all of these cases, not only did you pick this up, but you have never, ever appeared to court on your own cognition. Never once have you ever appeared.
I promise.
So hold on, we're not done yet. Possession of a controlled substance, that was 10 so far. Possession of a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, evading arrest, possession of a controlled substance, robbery, possession of a controlled substance, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, criminal trespass, theft, criminal trespass. We're now 25. And in every single case, you have never once appeared on your own. Not once in the 25 cases that you've had with me in the last 2 years.
I've just been homeless, and to be honest with you, I didn't have very good transportation to get here. But my father has also told me that 3 days before, if I get probation, he'll pick me up and he'll have me stay at his house 3 days before probation to ensure that I get to probation or any class I need to take too.
You're telling me that you've talked to your father about this? What is his phone number?
I put it down on my my paperwork.
Give it to the judge.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call him right now. What is his phone number?
I asked him about probation.
541.
Repeat the number for the judge one more time.
Yes, sir.
What is his name?
Anthony Morales.
Anthony Morales?
Yes, sir.
Is it Mireles or Morales?
Hello, this is Anthony.
Anthony,
Yes,
hi. My name is David Fleischer, and I'm a judge here in Harris County.
yes, sir.
And I have in front of me Dane Mireles.
Yes, that's my son.
Do you know this person?
Yes, sir, he's my son.
When's the last time you talked to him?
About, let's see, this, about in March, maybe the first week of April. He only calls me when he needs some money, and I usually meet up with him.
Have you talked to him about what's going on recently?
No, I haven't. I know that he gets arrested because he does theft, and I keep telling me he can't do that. And the problem with him, with my son, is that he went through some, you know, I guess compared to PTSD, but he doesn't want to get medical help. He doesn't want to go into a hospital, doesn't want to go in to talk to somebody to get rid of whatever is bugging him. What happened to him about 3-4 years ago, he was just staying at a boarding house, and then the owner of the boarding house, had some troubles or whatever, and he left that house, and Dane took care of it for several years. And to make that long story short, nobody was paying the taxes on it. And the county or the city, they went with the tax lien and took the house away from it. And from since then, I think he had a mental breakdown. And from then, he just went spiraled down, but he never wanted to get any help mentally. As his dad, I feel that he needs to be committed and get himself on medicine and get taken care of. I love my son very much, and I try to help him, but he just doesn't want to help himself.
And so let me just give you a brief rundown. I have been with Mr. Mireles probably since 2020.
Yes.
And in that time, he's picked up 25 different cases.
Yes, I know.
And he has never once appeared to court, ever. And, you know, for the last couple years, all we did was just plead guilty, get out, plead guilty, get out, plead guilty, get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him this last time when I first saw him in April of this year, because he picked up another. So he was on bond for a theft and he picked up now a criminal trespass in the beginning of April. And I told him I was done. I'm not doing this anymore. We have to figure a way to stop this cycle from happening. And I'm at a loss of just how to do it. And I'm done. I will not let you plead guilty again.
Oh.
And so now we've worked an agreement to where he is going to get on the mental health caseload. However, one of the conditions is that he goes and meets with a person, right, Lori? Is that?
Yeah, a mental health provider in the community.
The problem is that I know if I let him out, he's not going to go.
Yes, and I agree with you 100%. He's not going to go.
So the only way that I'm going to do this, Lori, is that we release him to the actual Harris Center and someone picks him up.
Is there any way to
How
ask?
we've done it before where we have someone actually release him. That's the only way I'm going to do this. I'm not releasing you on your own because I know you're not going to do it.
Okay.
Mr. Mireles, the only way is if you were released into the actual care of someone from the Harris Center. You're not going to do it.
We figure out how to do that.
So we've done it before and we will do it. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm done.
Is there any possible way to ask my father right now if he'll help me get to my, if he can ensure that no matter what, I get picked up and taken?
If the minute you get out of jail, you're going to ghost us.
No
matter if you even get Jesus out there waiting for you.
I swear I wouldn't, because I do want this off my record. That's why it's a deferred. That way I can get off my record. I would do anything. And if my father could help, like if he would agree to help me get a ride there every time to be there where I need to be, there would be no doubt that I would, because my father would know where to pick me up. And even like the day before, they might let me stay there.
Okay.
Is there any way to possibly ask my father if he could help with that?
Mr. Anthony, you know, the only way I'm going to do it, and like I told Lori, I know her well. She's the lawyer that I've appointed to Mr. Mireles here, that we're going to try to work it to where he's released to the actual custody of the Harris Center, which is a mental health rehabilitation center, to try to get and work through these issues. And I'm sorry, Lori, I know that you're frustrated.
No, that's fine.
You know.
I'm just wanting to let you know that's not.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, if I agree with you. If Dane is not going to do, his sister who lives in Dallas, when this happens, I guess we want to try to go up there and stay with her for a couple of, well, he didn't in the last 2 months up there. She took him in, was going to take him in her house, and all she asked was that he get him a little job. He never did get him a job, and he was running around all over there. So finally, she just brought him back and said, "Dad, I can't take care of him. He just doesn't want he doesn't want to accept that he needs help. And I agree 100% with you. If you put him out
Are
on
we
the
wrong?
street,
No,
he'll be
my sister
calling
was
me
a
tomorrow.
drug addict. I had to leave her house.
And I'll go
He
take
doesn't
it to him and I'll
I've
talk
talked
to
to him,
him
but
and
she
he'll
won't.
promise me everything but he never does because he doesn't call me again until he can't go out and steal or do whatever and he really needs. I used to give him a lot of money, but now I'm giving him $25 just because I can't trust him. He's to the point that he doesn't want to go get help. He doesn't want to help anybody's help. So my wife and I both agree something has to happen and putting him in a place that he has to stay there until he gets on medicine, gets be able to take himself and begin to take care of himself, then he's welcome to come back home until he gets back on his feet. But, right now we can't because he's afraid he's going to steal from us. I'm 80 years old. My wife is going to retire next year. I can't take that burden if he doesn't want to help himself. I love him to death, but I can't.
It's okay. Look, you and I are on the same team, and
yes, sir.
I'm in court number 5, so you can always try to reach out to me if you ever need anything. Okay. We're not going to go through with this today because I want to make sure that you're put in the hands of someone, not yourself. So
I promise, I can promise you.
this way and that way are your promises. Whoop, whoop,
But
whoop, whoop.
can I still get this deferred? Like,
Stop.
Yes, yes,
No, but.
yes, absolutely.
You need to be quiet.
Mr. Mireles,
as well.
Dane, I want to help you. I do. But leaving it to yourself is not going to work. You know what I mean? It just.
I would make it, I have no choice.
Yeah, you've fooled me once, shame on you. Fool me 25 times, shame on me. Okay, thanks. Mr. Mireles, can I give you my phone number? If you need anything.
Let me step back over here and get me a pen so I can write with it.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
My name is David.
David?
Yeah. And my last name is F as in Frank, Leischer.
Scherer.
Yes, and I'm the judge in court 5.
Number 5, Judge. Judge, I really appreciate this call.
Of course. Well,
I prayed this morning that I could hear from him, so I'm hearing from him, and I know that the Lord takes care of him because I can't anymore.
let me give you my phone number, okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Page 8, Harrison, come on up.
We have an arraignment real quick. LaDarren Harrison. Mr. Harrison, you stand charged with the offense of criminal trespass and terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine on both of your cases. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
On the 4th of April 5th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a leasing office in Harris County, Texas. Officer arrived and met with CW, who stated that individuals had forced entry into vacant units of the property. Deputies ID'd suspects and issued them criminal trespass warnings. Later in the day, defendant returned to the property leasing office stating he left money inside. Defendant became aggressive towards staff and threatened to kill a male for refusing to allow him to re-enter the unit. The staff was afraid and stated that the defendant was wearing a bag and reaching into it while demanding to be let inside on April 8th. While deputies were checking, the complex maintenance staff flagged officer down, stating the defendant fled on foot from a vacant unit. The deputies located the defendant on a nearby roadway. Defendant was detained and transported. I'm not sure, I believe this was a juvenile offense, 2016 bird of habitat, 12 months to 314, I believe this was saying.
So he has a burglar of a habitation as a juvenile?
I believe that's, am I reading that correctly?
I can check it out. What was it?
Yeah, that's
Harrison.
Harrison. Yes.
What was the question, Judge?
At the bottom of is that a juvenile offense, 2016 verdict?
Yes, that's a juvenile offense, 2016 Burke Ave, 12-month probation out of 314 court, and then he has another criminal trespass out of this court in 2024. That's essentially.
Mr. Harrison, let's go through your history. In June of 22, you picked up a criminal trespass. I had to revoke your bond on 4 different occasions because you failed to appear. In August of 22, you picked up an evading arrest, and I had to revoke your bond 4 times because you failed to appear or violated conditions. Now you've picked up another 2 cases, and you failed to appear when you were supposed to the first time, and they gave you yet another free bond. Tell me, why should I not just put you in jail for your multiple failures to appear?
I be trying to get to court, sir, and it just be hard for me because I'm homeless. So it'd be hard to get to court. But I be really trying to get to court.
Where are you living now?
I'm in motels.
How old are you?
I'm 23. I really don't got nobody like that, sir.
Do you have any parental figures?
Yeah, I got my mother. She stays in Conroe. Like, I'm thinking about moving out there with her, trying to get my ID so I can get a job.
Why wouldn't you? If it's a stable place to stay, why wouldn't you do it?
I don't like stressing my mother like that.
Come on. Or is it more that you want to do your own thing and she's not liking it?
That's not it.
I'm not playing this game with you. I'm not going to do it again.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you a lawyer today. But if you ever fail to appear, I'm telling you now, I'm going to light you up and I'm going to make your bond so high you will not get any more PR bonds at all. You must appear in court and I will not let you play this game again.
Yes, sir.
How long did you spend in jail for the first 2 cases? Was it quite a while? Is that what you want to do again? And don't fail me again. You understand? Can you reach out to the MAC for Mr. Harrison, please? I'm going to have you sign a reset, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. You will never get another free bond, Mr. Harrison.
Okay.
I want to, when we get the lawyer for Mr. Harrison, have a powwow with the lawyer to figure out what we're going to do to get him situated so he's not homeless anymore. So he's not allowed to go anywhere yet. Hey, of course.
Mr. Harrison, you want us to approach? I talked to him. He's going to move back to his mother's house in Conroe. So he has a stable place to stay instead of living in motels.
That concerns me.
I know.
Right, because the motel gig, it's just not working out well.
But a night is not what he needs to be spending his money on.
So it's come up.
No.
25 in New York.
25 in a flea bag. No one night stand.
You know, it's probably sucks to live with mom because she probably has rules, right? I know, but it's a small price to pay to have a roof over your head. It really is. Living in a motel at $60 a night, in the kind of motels that you're living in for that, it's got to be even worse. You have a lawyer. I'm giving you a lawyer. All you have to do is stay in contact with Carl. And if he tells me that he's in contact with you, then I won't have a problem. The only thing I'm asking you to do is don't pick up any new cases. Be nice. It's not hard. The terroristic threat, who was it against?
There's against the maintenance man at the apartments where he was sheltering at one time. That's where the
So,
trespass came from.
I don't want you to go back to this place, okay? I don't want you to be in possession of weapons. The only thing I'm telling you, I'm not asking you to split the atom. All I'm asking you to do is stay out of trouble, don't have any weapons, and be nice to your mom. Say that again?
Don't disrespect my mother. We got a good relationship.
It's great, because you know what? You need to focus on your future. That way you don't end up with a number on your back for the rest of your life. Mr. Harrison, it only gets harder. It doesn't get easier. You get bigger, fatter, uglier, you lose your hair. I'm telling you, it gets worse. If you don't set yourself up now, you'll have no money for the rest of your life.
Yes, sir.
Did you graduate from high school?
No, sir. I'm trying to go back to school.
No, you will. I am now making it a condition of your bond. I want you to get into school. I want you to get your GED.
Yes, sir.
That's now a condition of his bond. Get into school. I want proof. I'm giving you 2 weeks. I want to see what you've done. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep you so close to me.
He's 23 years old. He's got to get a GED.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I want you to go get your GED. I'm making that now a condition. I want you back here in 2 weeks to show me what you've done to get it. So go online. You have access to a computer.
Source or something. I can go to the workforce or something. Work source. Use their computer.
I don't know if WorkSource is going to give you a computer to do some.
You go to the work
Mother
source.
has a computer.
No, sir.
Your mom doesn't have a computer?
Lives in Conroe at an RV park.
How can we figure this out? How can we do this?
He didn't have a computer.
Mr.
but
Harrison, take a seat for me for a second. I need time to think.
He's got a phone, so he can call and
Say it again?
he doesn't have a computer, but he has a phone. So he can call to find out where he gets lined up for GED.
What kind of phone is he on? What kind of phone does he have?
Judge, I don't know. He says,
Mr. Harrison, what kind of phone you got? It's a smartphone, right?
he's got a smartphone, he can access the internet.
Unfortunately, you can't really do a lot of programming.
Right. But you can contact us.
Yeah, that's what
No, but on a smartphone, you should be able to access and,
the library of the town.
hold on, you know what, I'm gonna get in contact with Natalie Ware and I'm gonna see what I can do.
Okay.
Just can you give me,
Sure. I'm gonna go to court number 8 and I'll be back.
go for it. For him, can you file no going back to the place, the apartment complex, no contact with the complaining witness, no weapons, and get a GED? Okay, let me deal. Carl's here. Carl,
I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
okay, come up, Mr. Harrison. You know, in life, there's a reason for almost anything. The last 2 cases you had problem to the tune where I had to revoke your bond, like I told you earlier, 4 different times, and I had your bond at 5,004 on both. That tells me that I had to revoke it at least 4 total times. And now I think I know why. I sent you for a drug test and you tested positive for cocaine, meth, amphetamine, marijuana, you don't have to apologize, nothing. But we're going to do this either the easy way or the hard way. How that happens depends on you. It stops now. So, because it only stays in your system a couple days, I am now forced to have you come here on a weekly basis to test with me. And I'm going to tell you now, the first time you test positive, because I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, promising me that you're not to use alcohol, marijuana, methamphetamine, or cocaine, and the first time you test positive, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will put you in jail, and then I'm going to put you in an inpatient rehab facility that is at a minimum of 9 months of your life. And that's if you respond well to treatment. It's a minimum of 9 months. It can be for a year and a half if you really battle. So you can either take care of these demons on your own. If you can't, I will do it for you. Promise you that you're not gonna like the way that I do it. You understand? You will be back here every Monday and Thursday to take a test.
Yes, sir.
The first positive, I don't care about the weed. As far as from today, today's May 1st. For me, the weed stays in your system 30 days. So I know that you're gonna test positive the next couple times for weed. After June 1st, if you still test positive for marijuana, that means that you've continued to smoke and you go to jail. As far as any other drugs concerned, you ever test positive for any of the other, in jail you go. And you know, you have no one that's going to post your bond, so you will be stuck like Chuck. You're here with Carl, so you know that you're not alone. Carl.
Yes, Judge.
I guess we'll just do it this way. You know, I had a feeling, and so we'll see. We'll see if he can stay
Okay.
clean, huh?
I've already submitted to the MAC Social Services a request for assistance on the GED portion. And also possibly for temporary housing, just in case his mother doesn't accept him back.
Sure.
So, Mr. Harrison, you need to keep in touch with me.
I will, yes.
I sent you my email address. I sent you my cell phone number. I sent you my office phone number, and I sent you my office address. So you know how to get in contact with me almost as good as my significant other. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So just make sure you keep in touch with me. And as soon as I hear something back regarding that GED and you getting enrolled on that, I'll let you know. But
Yes.
in the meantime, we're going to plan on you're planning on moving back to Conroe with your mother. If she won't have you in, then I've already reached out to social service to possibly see about some type of temporary housing for you.
Yes,
So you
sir.
have no excuse. You have no excuses. You got to fly and do right.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Mind over matter. You can achieve anything if you put your heart to it. There's no excuse. I'm telling you now, you're digging yourself a grave that's going to affect you for the next 40 years of your life. All right. Come on.
See you Monday.
Thanks. Thanks, Carl. Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
And then I think we'll need pretrial to amend the conditions for Monday, Thursday testing. So he'll have.
So he'll have to stay until we get pre-trial. Okay. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate you coming back.
No problem, Judge.
I messed things up. Hold on. Hold on while I cue things. Oh my lord. I messed things up royally. So that was the Judge Fleischer bit. Next comes the Simpson. I say next comes the Simpson bit. All my things have decided to stop working. So I'm just going to sit here and stare. Now, I've actually got 2 Simpson cuts. It depends on how long we want to go here. I'm going to start with the Salty Simpson civil matters. That's where we're going to begin. But I also have an interesting clip from the day before at his PCC docket when an interesting exchange happens between him, the defendant, and the public defender. I'll just leave it at that. We can talk about it later. I think it's an interesting cut. I haven't published it yet. It might be worth a look-see. we got about 30 minutes left in this Simpson docket that we have going on here. But yeah, I just wanted you to see that last little bit with Fleischer and that kid, and how that all like evolved, because the Harrison kid sat there through the whole docket, and I kept expecting him to come back, and he never did. And then all of a sudden, it came back on live, and that whole revelation with the drug test came out, and I was like, wow. Ouch. Some days it just sucks to be in front of a judge. And I guess it was one of those days for that kid. And anybody who was actually drinking for every substance fell to drink. Holy gosh. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the salty civil matters.
James Summonek versus Travis.
All right. Had to get that queued up. We're queued. Is everybody ready? I'm ready. If you're ready, I think we're ready. I think we're ready. Who can wait around for Judge Simpson? I see lots of readies. Let's do this thing. Not that thing. That was the wrong thing. This is the correct thing.
James Summonek versus Travis Ackerman.
Attorney Tom Ellis, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Travis
And
Ackerman.
that's
and Nikki
Ackerman and Meltzer.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. You have Travis Ackerman and Nikki Meltzer representing themselves.
Okay, very good. All right. What is the claim in this case? How much is owing, inclusive of cost, Mr. Ellis?
According to our complaint, Your Honor, we asked for $5,743.80, but we are giving him credit for some propane that's in the tank. So he's going to owe approximately $1,150 less. $1,150 is a credit.
Your Honor, may I ask, this is news to me. This would be
Okay,
news to me.
hold on. Folks, hold on a moment. I need, Mr. Ellis, I need to know what's owing or what plaintiffs are claiming are owing on the account as of today, including court cost.
$4,750 approximately.
That approximate figure again. All right.
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
Sure.
We so on the propane tanks, we have evidence and pictures of the readings and the levels of the tanks and can quantify the sum down to the amount owed based on what Mr. Simonek had paid per gallon. The current levels of the propane as of when we left the property on April 30th were there was just under 60% in one tank. There was just under 70% in another. So the full usage of the propane did not take place. And I do have concerns that the amount of money they're sharing does not quantifiably add up to what would be owed in relation to that per gallon rate.
In addition to the rent that they're asking us to pay, we've already paid our rent per an agreement with Mr. Simonek for a prorated rate of rent for February, March, and April, as long as we're out by the end of April.
And this was on the basis of a violation of our lease agreement due to non-repair of, and I have evidence to show pictures of a history.
All right. All right. Hold
Yes,
on
sir.
a moment, folks.
Yes, sir.
This is the first
Yes, sir.
hearing. Okay. All right. Take a breath. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Because I wasn't there and you're giving me a lot of information. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
It's a lot.
counsel, as I'm looking at the complaint, there's $3,023.80 for propane.
That is correct, Your Honor, but we'll give him.
So I guess here's what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, what is the rental amount that's due? And then what's due for propane?
$2,420 is owed in rent. And the propane.
2002. $2,240
Yes, sir.
for rent. Okay. And then, so if I were to subtract basically the 4750 approximately that you gave me, the rest of that is propane
Yes, in our complaint,
and court costs.
the court costs were not added in there, I don't think.
All right, fine. Then it's just propane. We'll worry about the court costs later. All right, so
$2,182 is owing for propane.
$2,180 for propane.
Yes.
$1,400 has been paid to Mr. Samanak. I can confirm 500 in January, 500 in March.
Sir.
Yes, sir. I
Sir.
apologize. Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. What payments have you recently received? Has your client recently received, Mr. Ellis?
Originally, approximately 6 weeks ago, my client agreed to reduce the rent if they pay up the back propane bill. And payments were made of about $1,400. But that did not pay up the total back propane bill. And so the defendants are not entitled to any rent reduction because they didn't follow the agreement.
Your Honor, may I make a statement here? At no point in time was this agreement.
Have I been able to stop you? But go ahead.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, Your Honor. At no point in time was this agreement ever predicated on the payment of the propane. It literally, in any communications with Mr. Stamanek, that was not conveyed. I have interactions. His son-in-law, Harvey Proctor, actually came to pick up the money for this prorated rent. And I have text messages showcasing the process of, hey, this individual is going to come over to collect this money.
All right. So folks, let me just ask you this. You're currently out of the property.
Yes, Your Honor, we are, as of April 30th.
Okay, so possession isn't an issue. The issue is how much rent's owed and how much of that is owed for propane.
Correct.
Right?
Yes,
Can I ask, was there a written lease or written agreement regarding the propane?
Yes.
In the lease, it does say that the tenants would need to pay the full balance of the propane by December 31st of the year. And we talked to Mr. Samanak, since we will be leaving in April and not the end of the year, that we would check the propane levels once we left the property and pay him the balance that we used for the propane from January 1st to April 30th.
We also have witnesses. Mr. Samanek has visits to my.
You know what?
Yes, sir.
You can keep talking, but I don't know why it is. I understand her a whole lot better than I understand you.
That's totally fine. I'll let her do a lot of the talking.
What she said to me makes absolute perfect sense. So, I mean, it makes sense in terms of something that could have happened. I don't know if it did or not, but I get it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir.
My bigger problem is I don't have, was not filed with this. I don't have the written agreement that is it Meltzer?
Yes.
Meltzer?
Yes.
Meltzer.
I don't have the written agreement that she's referring to.
So it's
That's
in
not filed with the court.
Apologies. It's in their original lease agreement that we signed with Mr. Samanak back in December.
No, it's okay. It's okay that I don't. I'm just letting the parties know I don't have that. I'm taking your word for what it says, but I just don't have it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm happy to read that to you if you need to.
Okay. All right. So we're not going to be able to resolve this today. So obviously there's a dispute between the parties as to what this propane bill is. And then let me ask you this, outside of the propane, do you believe that you owe the amount of rent?
No, sir. Due to the agreement that Mr. Samanak and I and Travis made on the phone, in January 19th of 2024. He agreed, since he has violated our lease by allowing multiple people onto our property without our knowledge, and after we have asked not to have that happen in violation to our rental agreement, section 9 of that, I know you don't have it, I apologize,
It's okay.
that technically the only people allowed on our property is the landlord or people doing repairs. It does not state that what we were living on was a working farm and that men will be in and out of our property multiple times a day. That was never disclosed to us. We asked him very kindly multiple times. This has started
Okay.
a month
I'm going to
after we-
stop you. I'm going to stop you there because you'll
Yes,
probably have to going to explain that to me again. But here's what I'm going to do, folks. Possession isn't an issue. It looks, quite frankly, like this is just going to be math. So in terms of setting it up, I'll hear everybody's story. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this for a final settlement conference Tuesday. For May 14th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Okay.
That proceeding will be in person at the courthouse.
Okay.
Bring all of your paperwork and everything so that
Are
I
we
can
allowed
look
to-
at it and I can refer to the provisions. You said something, ma'am? I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Are we allowed to bring witnesses to this?
Okay, what are they going to be witnesses of?
So his parents are good friends with Mr. Samanak, and he has even stated that we are paid up on our rent. They have text messages between them paying the propane balance of $1,400.
Okay,
all-
look. Here's what I'm going to do. You can bring whoever you'd like. Whether or not I'll be able to hear from them at that time, I don't know.
Understood.
But as between the parties, I've got to get I got to get everybody to agree on what issues we would be litigating. So it may be from this final settlement conference, I will set a trial date at a later time where I'll hear the testimony. All right, but you can bring whoever you'd like. I suggest that you make sure to bring all of the documentation that the parties have regarding everything. Well, not everything, but anything relevant.
We have a
May
full.
14th. Pardon?
We have printed copies for you, and we also have an iCloud link if you would like that at any time.
Okay, all right. You can always send it to the court for filing with the court, and then I'll take a look at it at some point. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Ellis, anything else?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, we'll see everybody on the 14th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle O'Meara versus Jason Gold. And On-Site Solutions, Inc.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Abou-Terrell on behalf of the plaintiff.
Jason Gold. Not checked in. And you did not do the second service. And I have mailing. And I only have service by attachment. So I'll have to adjourn this out 1 week. May 10th, 2024 at 1 p.m. That can be by Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alec Jerome versus Eric Cassidy and Paula Cassidy.
This is Eric Cassidy, Your Honor.
Who's on?
This is Donna Tope.
All right. And from the plaintiff, this is a termination case?
Yes. And
Is there
payment.
and payment?
Yes.
What do you mean and payment? You're looking for a money judgment?
Yes.
You have the lease. I did an accounting of everything that was due as of the date of filing. Today, 5/1/2024, or on 5/1/2024, the current unpaid rent is $24,658.18. The unpaid utilities is $2,981.54. And court costs to file just this complaint is $231. That is a total of $27,870.72 as of May 1st. May 6th, there will be a late fee for unpaid rent and unpaid utilities per the lease.
Mr. Cassidy, what do you have to say about that?
Several things, Your Honor. First, as you know, or as you may recall, you dismissed this case. It was the third time it's been dismissed quite recently. And you instructed them to add my wife, Paula Cassidy. I do have medical power of attorney for her. She is going through cancer treatment. However, we don't have an attorney for her at the moment. And so I'd like additional week to get that. Her previous attorney was Douglas Lewis through the University of Michigan. Mr. Lewis just left the University of Michigan at the end of April, and he let us know that. And so we're looking for an attorney for her. She's a master's student at the University of Michigan. In terms of the figures or the claims filed by Ms. Tope, we dispute them. We have previously filed counterclaims. In addition to those counterclaims, we are filing several others. And we'll be seeking damages in excess of the jurisdiction of the court. However, on the very specific issue of rent due, as Ms. Tope knows, we live in a house with no air conditioning, a furnace that barely works. We have our rat and mice infestation.
All right. You have counterclaims. When is Ms. Cassidy going to have an attorney?
We will be ready by next Friday, Your Honor. We have been referred to several attorneys by Mr. Lewis as of a day ago, and I expect she'll have an attorney soon.
Title to the adjournment for those purposes. I'll adjourn us out May 10th, 2024 at 1 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Covington Apartments versus Cassie Scott. Do I have?
And I don't have Ms. Scott.
Anybody from Covington Apartments? Cassie Scott? And indicate no one's here. Neither party appeared. Case dismissed. Court calls the case of Hampton to Clover Lane versus, is it Sari Ellis?
Good morning, Your Honor. Alex
Sincere Ellis.
7. My apologies. 121 on behalf of plaintiff.
And your name again, ma'am?
Sincere.
Sincere. I was going to say that, but it was, that's okay. My bad. All right.
It's okay.
Counsel, what's the claim on this case?
This is a non-payment of rent claim. As of today's date, we are showing in rent $3,117.16. Court costs of $151 for a total of $3,268.16.
Ma'am, how are you intending on getting that paid, or do you dispute it?
I do plan on getting it paid. I tried to pay them for April rent. I had a new credit card. Well, I tried 2 different services. I called them to confirm both. The lady on the phone was not willing to listen or assist me, said she couldn't do anything about it. So I had to wait for me to actually make the money because they weren't accepting my credit card. And then I also tried through a service called Klarna, which nowhere in the lease does it says I cannot. Klarna, they will pay the leasing company the full amount. I pay Klarna a partial payment. I tried both of those methods. The leasing office was not very helpful, and then I am going to be able to pay it once I receive the money. I'm also a student, so I can only work part-time, so it's taking me a little longer.
Okay. So you were intending on paying the money.
Yes, I tried to pay. I opened a new credit card and I tried to pay with the credit card. They let me add the credit card onto the website to pay, and it would not go through. I called the credit card company. They said that they were approving it. They needed me to make a lesser charge first, and I did that for about $20. And I tried again to process it for about 3 or 4 days. You can only process it once a day. If it declines, it doesn't let you use that card again on a leasing office website.
Is that right, counsel?
I don't have knowledge of the actual process, unfortunately, Your Honor. I only have the amount owed.
Well, if she's trying to pay, all right, here's what I'm going to do. Ma'am, between now and next Friday, how much are you going to be able to pay?
I'm not exactly sure. Do I need a set amount today?
Yes. I need to know what you're going to pay between now and next Friday.
If I give you amount right now and I'm not able to pay it by next Friday, what's the result?
Then I'm going to probably issue them a judgment.
Okay. Well, I guess I can try to pay the rent, but I won't be able to pay the late fees and everything by Friday as well, though.
Ma'am, I need a dollar amount that you can tell me that you can pay by next Friday.
Okay, well, I'll say $1,200 because that's my next check, and so I'll just give my whole entire check to that.
You're going to pay $1,200. What day does your check arrive?
I get paid on Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
Right. So I'm going to indicate you're to get that paid by the 9th.
Okay.
All right. I'll adjourn this out to the 10th, May 10th, 2024 at 1 p.m. And then let's see where we are, because then you should be at about down to $2,000, and then we'll figure out this credit card thing.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, is that also via Zoom?
Yes, you can do it via Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You do the same. James Hussar versus Stanley Zarwicki.
J. James Hasanaw, Your Honor.
And I have Christina, but I don't know. I don't have a last name. There are no attorneys. Are they here?
I am.
Plaintiff is here.
J. James Hasanaw is here, Your Honor.
I am here. Stanley
And the
Zarwicki.
property manager is also here.
All right. Who is Christina?
She's my girlfriend. She's out of town.
All right. This is a non-payment. They don't even have type of action on this case. Is this a non-payment or a termination case?
Termination, Your Honor.
Was there a lease?
No, there was not.
Was there a lease?
No, there was not. Mr. Zarwicki was asked to do some work at the 62156 6 Mile. He was given some keys in order to do that work. And he just kept the keys and moved in. So we're looking for a trespassing and termination.
Is that correct, sir?
No.
Well, how did you come into the premises?
The original agreement was that the house didn't have a furnace, hot water tank, and a bunch of other stuff. And the original agreement, which was verbal, was that I installed the furnace, all the duct work, the hot water tank, and do some work here as I'm able to live here. And Mr. Hazenaw knew that that was the original agreement. And then he even, about with the gas, electricity, or he had it in his name.
Okay, how long have you been here? How long have you been there?
Since actually physically staying here since middle of November.
Sir, is that correct?
I don't know exactly when he started staying there, but he was supposed to have done the work by the end of last August. And it hasn't.
Okay, well then, how long have you known that they've been in the premises?
Since at least the middle of September or beginning in August, actually.
That staying in the premises?
He started moving in a lot of stuff and
Didn't ask that. How long have you known that they've been staying in the premises?
Since the middle of September of 2023.
And you gave them keys?
In order to go into the building to do the work, yes, I did give them keys.
Yeah, but then you knew they were staying there.
No.
I didn't realize that he had actually was staying there. He was supposed to have been done like by last August, and he didn't finish the work, so I didn't really monitor what was going on there. But a gentleman named Eric was supposed to be having a room there, and he said that Stan had moved in and had moved his dogs and had moved his girlfriend Christina in as well, and that they were living there. And then Stan finally said that he was living there. He told me he wasn't living there, and then he said he finally said that he moved in.
But you gave him keys.
I gave him the keys in order to go into the building.
He's not a trespasser, sir. He's not a trespasser.
Can I interrupt for a second?
You already have.
I'm sorry.
Here's the problem. Unless you're going to be able to establish to me that he's indeed legally a trespasser on the premises, based upon what you told me, he's not a trespasser, he'd be entitled to notice of some type to the premises. So you've got two options here. You can dismiss the action now and then send a notice and refile, or you can go ahead and we can litigate out whether or not he's a trespasser, and I'll make a legal ruling on it. Which would you like to do, sir?
Just a second, Your Honor.
Amanda,
did we give him a 7-day? We never gave him a 7 day, right?
No, we didn't.
Okay. You feel he's not going to qualify as a trespasser, Your Honor?
I've not made a legal ruling. That's why I was asking the questions that I was asking. Doesn't seem to me that he's a trespasser. It seems to me he came into the property under some color of right.
Also, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What do you want to say?
Also, if I was an actual trespasser, why would Mr. Hazenaw ask me to put the utilities in my name? The electric is in my name, but the gas, they won't put it in my name without a letter from Mr. Hazenaw. Why, if I'm a trespasser, why would I do that? I'm not a slum person. I'm not a bad person. I got a huge heart.
I don't know that anybody's saying that, sir.
Okay.
Did you, sir? Did
It
you
sounds
have
like
them
we're
put
going to
the-
have to
did- Sir,
serve
I
him.
Sir, did you
Yes,
have
sir.
them put the utilities in their name?
I asked him to do that. He wouldn't do it. And so then I turned off the
So
gas
why,
and I
if they
turned
were
off the electric.
trespassing, sir, if they were trespassing, why would you have them put the utilities in their name?
I didn't. I told him I was gonna turn them off. And so then he went and had the electric put in his name, and they wouldn't put the gas in his name.
No.
So why, if somebody's trespassing, why would you do that?
Why would I turn the utilities off so that he
Why
would
would
move
you
out?
even have a discussion about the utilities going into their name? These folks
Because
aren't trespassers.
He used to be a resident in one of my other homes. I had to evict him from there. I gave him a second chance on this home, and he hasn't paid. He hasn't.
They're not
done the work.
trespassers. Bottom line, they're not
Okay,
trespassers. They're
fine.
going to
We
be
will-
entitled.
We will dismiss this case. We'll send
Case
him a
is
file.
dismissed. Court lacks subject matter jurisdiction. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
We'll
you,
be
sir.
back.
How about them apples? It was kind of nuts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do have one more Simpson case that I can play from the other day. It's your call. Do we want to watch it? Are we ready to go? Viewer's choice. I have 2 votes for playing it. So I don't need a lot of.
Oh, come on.
I know how everyone needs their buff lift. Everyone needs their buff lift, and this has buff lift. On we go.
Oh, come on, Bellinger. Don't look so down. That was fun. Court calls the case. People versus Tammy Lowe.
Would you please state your name?
Miss Gaines?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. We have provided the eliminated information letter.
Did she say she didn't like you?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just wondering. I didn't know how far this was going. I just didn't know how far this was going. So I was just trying to nip things in the bud. All right. What are we doing?
Your office did provide the prosecutor with a information letter asking for adjournment so they can have some time to review it and hopefully come.
All right. Probable cause May 23rd, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you, ma'am. Kayla Garcia. Okay, you guys don't have time for a picnic up there. We got to move on to the next case. Thank you. Kayla Garcia.
Again, Senior Assistant Public Defender with on behalf of Ms. Garcia. Would you state your name?
Thank you.
Your Honor, we requested some additional discoveries when understanding their medical records. We're asking for an adjournment in order to receive that.
How much time are you gonna, their medical?
Your Honor, we have 3 weeks.
3?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from the officer on this.
All right.
Hopeful. I don't want to come back and ask for an additional adjournment.
Why don't I go to the 30th and just, that work Miss Gaines? May 30th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. All right. Thank you, man. Court calls the case of the people versus Marcus Moore Jones.
Hey, how you doing, Your Honor?
Good morning, Mr. Public Defender Warren, on behalf of Mr. Moore Jones. Mr. Moore Jones, can you state your name for the record?
Marcus Moore Jones.
Thank you.
We are requesting an adjournment for plea negotiations.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right, without objection, May 23rd, 2024, 9 a.m. Fine, continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Court calls case of the people versus Jonathan Gibson. He's back again.
Mr. Canatra for the people.
Julie Gaines, Senior Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Gibson.
Again? He's on every docket I have. All right, what are we doing on this one?
We have. There's going to be an
Because he took his other pleas yesterday. All right, I do have before me a plea form. Indicates the defendant will be pleading. So I'm trying to make sure I'm reading this. There are counts 3 and 4, both retail fraud second.
Correct.
All right. Those are offenses punishable by up to 1 year. Upon a successful plea to counts 3 and 4, count 1 and 2 would be dismissed.
Correct.
All right. And then, so he pled to like, I don't know how many yesterday before me. And so then there's an agreement that there's a case out in 1483 or 4 that he'll be pleading to a reduced charge of retail fraud third with restitution in that case of $1,143.82. So that was a retail fraud that was separate and apart from the ones from yesterday. Got it. That's of course full understanding of the area.
That's good.
All right. Okay. Gibson, you know the routine. Raise your right hand.
Swear for testimony about the Yes, I do. Be Jonathan Gibson.
All right, sir. It is this court's understanding you're going to plead no contest to 2 charges of retail fraud in the second degree. Those are misdemeanors punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Understood.
All right. You understand what a no contest plea is? All right. 2 things I have to explain to you about a no contest plea. First thing is that it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest these charges. You understand that? Second thing is that for purposes of sentencing, the court would treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Understanding and the basis for the no contest plea, Ms. Gaines.
Yeah, Mr. Gibson has indicated that.
Okay. So, sir, to the charge of retail fraud, second degree, as contained in count 3, how do you plead?
No contest.
To that same charge, as contained in count 4, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind. All right. You had signed an advice of rights form, is that correct? Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5 if you haven't memorized it already. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal, right? Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these? Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
Doing this voluntarily
Yes.
and of your own free will?
Yes.
Court has been provided and has reviewed this is Ann Arbor Police Department. Ann Arbor report. Oh. Can I have the right report in this one? No. Right down. Folks. Got it. I've read so many of his, and I'm just wondering because this one was. Folks. This didn't involve a crash, did it? I know. Which report do you have? What's the case? Yeah, this.
21-5.
Okay, I was wondering because I have Ann Arbor report on the drunk driving.
I'm happy to provide my copy.
Okay, if I can just take.
It is 2 pages on one side.
That's.
And
Okay.
I have to take off my glasses. So.
I didn't think so.
Okay. There you go.
Wrong one. Okay. You did a scheme. Got it. Now this makes a lot more sense. I think actually I saw this one, part of this one yesterday also. All right, got it. All right, court has been provided Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case 21, is that 589? Yeah, 589. There being no objection to the court reviewing that, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of these offenses. Counsel, have I complied with the court? Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to counts 3 and 4. Counts 1 and 2 are dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered at 14A1 probation. Sentencing will be.
May 22nd.
That's what its other ones are too, right?
I'm sorry.
That's what its other ones are.
Yes.
Yeah, that we set yesterday, May 22nd, 2024. What time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Before me.
Your immediate response, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Gibson has indicated that he has a personal cognizance in this matter. That for this matter as like.
Hold on, can I just stop you? Yesterday, Ms. Perny was addressing bond on his other matters. And what I indicated, because she was bringing up this case, and I think there's another case that's out of 1434. What I indicated is, folks, get them all together, give me an order that everybody agrees on that I can sign off on, and I don't have a problem.
Thank you.
So unless you want to talk to me about it, Miss Parody was supposed to be working on preparing an order regarding all of it.
We will work together. Mr. Gibson just wanted to make sure that I was getting everything done and all the things.
He was worried about you getting everything done?
More so, he is anxious that everything is done correctly because he's, yes, and he's not understanding. But so what the judge is saying.
He didn't understand that?
Sign an order changing with regard to.
Remember, we were trying to yesterday, the issue became trying to coordinate all of your cases because you can't do something in one spot. So we were trying to coordinate all of your cases once you had done what you had done. And then they were going to present to me an order that everybody agreed upon with the tether, remember?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought this was all when we agreed. I think it's all.
Well, no, I hear you. It kind of is, but the cases yesterday we took care of. Then you have this one, then there's one more that's out there because you probably traveled over into SIO. That's not my case. But it is part of the plea agreement.
Yeah, I think just this charge right here is what's having me have a tether before being released.
So now you want to advocate on your own?
I believe this charge is done.
So what the judge is saying is that our office should work with the prosecutor's office and present him with a written order with our prosecutor's agreement that we be allowed to be released and work within 24 hours to have the tether placed on. So that's what we're going to work on. So I will write that out.
Say yesterday.
So because
you wanna know what? Miss, hey, don't, no. No, you know something? Mr. No. Hold on a moment, though. Miss Gaines is very patiently trying to explain what it was. It was the same thing that I was telling Miss Parody to do, but we had to wait for this case for today. When Miss Gaines was just explaining to you, don't you ever just wave her down like that. Do not ever do that in my presence to Miss Gaines. Am I understood, Mr. Gibson? Bond will continue. Thank you.
Look at Judge Simpson just taking up for the public defender like that. Don't you ever do anything like that in my presence ever again. I love it when he gets like that. Just laying down the law. All right. I'm looking at chat right now. I just wanted to see what's being said here. That's the last of my planned videos. As far as time goes, we're at 12:45 my time. I don't know, worldwide what everybody's at. I saw somebody that said that the perfect grouping would actually be, I believe I saw Fleischer, Simpson, and Middleton. And to be honest, that was originally gonna be the show, was Fleischer, Simpson, and Middleton, but I didn't actually edit up the Middleton. So we're gonna have to kind of raw dog it with the Middletons. I think let me just I think this is what I think this is right. Okay. you want a Middleton, I'll do a Middleton. I'm not going to say it's going to be a great Middleton, but I do have a Middleton. About 15 to 16 minutes long, something like that. I will happily hit play if the community feels they would really like one more encore. Just one more. This is it, though. This is it. We're stopping after this one. No more. St. Joe County, here we come. Fast forwarding just a little bit. I love his facial expression. Are we ready to start yet? Typing something. Looking at paper, shuffling paper.
This is the time and date for sentencing in the matter of People versus Kyle Thomas Miller. Mr. Miller was charged with larceny over $1,000, but under $20,000, and a misdemeanor larceny of over $200, but less than $1,000. The felony charge was dismissed, and Mr. Miller pled to larceny $200 to $1,000 on Monday morning, March 18th. And I wasn't clear exactly what happened. So I set the matter for sentencing for April 29th and watched the videos and tried to read the police reports. There were multiple videos. There were surveillance videos, police investigation videos, scene videos. And so I had a chance to get a sense of what it was that was at issue and read the report. So at the time of sentencing, then I learned we were talking about more than just scrap metal out of a recycling bin, but an expensive to replace heavy metal dock plate. At the earlier hearing on March 18th, Mr. Miller told me that he took the stuff out of a dumpster. He said the stuff was in a dumpster. And I said, well, it wasn't a dumpster and it wasn't your dumpster, but then he acknowledged that he took the plate and loaded up with a winch. So we got over that hurdle, but he contended that he had permission somehow from the owner of Clark Logic, Jamie Clark, to take this, which I frankly didn't believe. He also denied that he told the officers that he had permission from Jamie Clark to take it. So I wanted to hear from Officer Greenhalgh or Holcomb, whoever the officers were, and Jamie Clark. Mr. Clark is the owner and operator of a multi-million-dollar business known as Clark Logic. And I know him, and I'd hope to get some information from him. So I continued the matter until this morning to get that further information, and it doesn't sound like we're going to get it. What I was hopeful for that was Mr. Miller would just acknowledge responsibility. But there's always an excuse. There's always, oh, we didn't understand this. Somebody didn't under this. I was hoping you just look me in the eye and tell me what happened. But when we were here on the 29th, you said, well, I never took anything out of a dumpster. No, yeah, April 29th. So I looked at the earlier hearing where you did tell me you took something out of a dumpster. And your position is still somehow that you didn't tell Officer Greenhalgh you had Jamie Clark's permission. And then you said you did have Jamie Clark's permission. They had seen it on the surveillance video. Your vehicle is distinctive. You run a handyman business, and it's the kind of vehicle that would be for that. It had ladders on the side, you had a trailer. One of the employees of Clark Logic saw you at Little Caesars and took your picture. And I think you realized at that point that there was something going on. So at some point you called Clark Logic, gave your name and number, and it went on from there. So anyway, I'd hoped to hear from Jamie Clark what happened. Melissa, did anybody talk to Mr. Clark again?
No, Your Honor. I did review the police reports again. I watched the video evidence as well. I think it's clear that Mr. Clark did not give permission to this gentleman to take anything. I think that's been clear from the beginning. I know that maybe this isn't the largest theft that Mr. Clark's dealing with. We've had a string of these issues, which is very concerning, especially with the scrap metal, but this plate was very expensive. The officer that called and spoke with Mr. Clark is a longtime officer that if he states that he spoke with Mr. Clark and Mr. Clark says, I know who this gentleman is, and I did not give him permission, I think we have that. It is concerning. The defendant did not accept responsibility at our prior sentencing. The staff indicated in the video that these items weren't just out by where the trash would be. These were, the plate as well as the dumpster were kind of set back and behind a different little building. So, it's not just right out on a curb or something like that. So, I think Your Honor has the right understanding of how this case went. He's not so far accepted any responsibility and is misrepresenting what happened. I think if there was allegedly any type of understanding or miscommunication between the defendant and Mr. Clark, that again, the defense could reach out and, maybe re-question that. But I think it's clear from the report itself. It's not just, I don't think I told him. There was absolutely no permission to take this.
All right, that's the prosecutor's position. Ross, what's your position?
Well, Your Honor's correct that there was a lot of justification and explaining away things at the last sentencing hearing and even at the plea hearing. I believe, though, that this adjourned sentencing with the jail hold that was placed it's kind of given Mr. Miller some time to reflect more effectively on his role and his misconduct. I hate to have to prosecute my own client, but he went there under the dark of night and removed property that was not his. And he's understanding that that is a problem. I don't think there is any more dumpster diving nonsense, any more idea that this was somehow justified. As Your Honor seen in your long career, folks, especially in larceny type situations, will wrangle around and wiggle through to try to justify why it wasn't really thievery. And I think there was some of that going on. But I think once Mr. Miller had a chance to sit alone and understand that this was a theft, this wasn't a misunderstanding. He is now contrite. I don't believe there is any longer a desire to try to explain away. One of his concerns during this period he's been incarcerated is his own shop. And I think that shows, he's got a shop on the south side where his business tools are. And a big fear of his is somebody going in and taking his valuable tools. That kind of shows to me some sort of progress and understanding of property rights, the right to be secure in your possessions, and that it's a two-way street. So I would ask Your Honor to view the jail time that's been imposed pending this second sentencing and the prior memorandum from the prosecution and not order any further jail time.
Mr. Miller, what would you like to say at this point? Anything you want to tell me?
I messed up. I shouldn't have done what I did. I was wrong in what I did. Now I'm just trying to make up for it. I should have.
And you didn't have Jamie Clark or anybody else's permission to take it?
No, sir. No.
We could have saved a lot of time. Ross is right. He hit the nail right on the head. People often, when they're charged with larceny, they'll admit stealing some of it, but not all of it. It's like they want to retain some dignity, but they really did all of it. And this had been your pattern, is always to not quite accept responsibility. It's like, I did it, but as you know, I didn't really even want to do this one. I talked to Judge Pattison about it this morning. He said, I told that guy if I saw him again, I was going to give him a bunch of jail. So maybe it's lucky you don't have Judge Pattison. But your friend is here. She's been here at every proceeding, so you got that going for you. But Melissa, is there any restitution?
No, Your Honor,
I
this
didn't
is.
think so. It was recovered.
Yeah.
Other than the headache of it.
Yep.
And we didn't have to drag. In fact, I was going to call him up. If he didn't acknowledge, I was going to call Jamie Clark and ask him what happened, but we didn't have to do that. If that had happened, you would have got a lot of jail time. It isn't that hard to say, I messed up, I did it, and I'd like to go forward from here. And it isn't just you. I do this all the time. I try to get all the way down to the kernel of the truth and acceptance of responsibility. And the irony is, you're afraid that somebody like you is going to come steal your stuff and sell it to these crooks that are fencing this stolen property. I hope it doesn't happen, but you know who's out there. I canceled your bond on the 29th. Today is the 3rd. What do they show as your jail credit? I think your lawyer's wise too. Your acknowledgement of responsibility is the difference between 10 days in jail credit 4. You might have another day up front. Credit 5. Leaving 5 days to serve less good time and 90 to 180 days. If you had stuck with that story and I called Mr. Clark and he said no, he would have been mowing lawns at the jail this summer. 5 days credit, 10 days. You got a few more days minus good time. Fine is 0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, and a $150 attorney fee, which is $275. Make that due by June 15th. When you get out, I hope you're not like looking for the next scam or something. You got a business going, maybe you could make it as that, but you gotta have a good reputation, not a bad one to grow a business. June 15th. All right, Mr. Miller, you're good to go. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Judge.
I think some of his awareness was based on your discussion. Ma'am, I don't know what his out date will be. He's gonna get good time credit. It's probably about 8 days. So you might check with the jail. He's probably gonna be eligible to get out about Sunday, maybe Monday. All right, thank you for being here. All right, thank you both.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Coach.
And thank you, everybody in the chat, everybody who's been watching and gathering here and digging into these court cases on a Saturday morning, afternoon, lunchtime, get together. It's been a blast. I think these were some pretty interesting cases. I think these are all really amazing judges. And to the person who made the suggestion, I saw you actually suggest it. Point at yourself again. The person who said that Middleton needed to be in that block, you were right. There's no two ways around it. You were right. It was a correct call. I'm glad we did it. Now it's done. If you missed anything, you know, I keep the DVR on this. You can just catch it at your own leisure. Come back, watch it later. I will have monetization turned on after the live has been turned off for a while. Give it a couple hours. Hey, if you wanna get right on it within the first few hours here, monetization will not be turned on, but I'll get to that at some point. Hey guys, it has been a blast hanging out with you. It has been a blast hanging out and chat with you. Chat has been amazing today. Your comments on these videos are priceless. I appreciate all of you, and every time y'all show up and you help comment on these videos. As always, the videos that you have participated in and commented on will be isolated at some point and spread out through the regular playlist as normal, average, everyday videos. So do be looking for them if you want to catch a replay or if you want to show somebody and just rewatch what we all watch together. That's cool too. I do it all the time. I watch. This is literally what I watch while I clean up around the house. Play with you. It's been great hanging out with you guys. I can't say that enough. I may say that 5 or 6 more times before I even shut this damn thing off. But the main thing we have to do at this point in the stream, if you know, you already know. The main thing we have to do is wrong. That's weird. This is the main thing we have to do. We have to start the song. Thank you all for coming out today. Without you, I am nothing. The community that comes here and shares these videos with me is the community that makes this channel what it is. I appreciate you all. I will keep making videos, and I will be back here next Saturday. Same wolf time, same wolf place. That would be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time or Central Daylight Time or whatever we're in right now. Noon for the rest of the normal world that live in the Eastern Daylight Standard crazy times. and everybody else, just do your math from there. It is amazing hanging out with you. I'm your lone wolf Usul. I will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out. Have a great day.
Like everything